Hi, I'm Greski, and I'm excited to be heading up women's ministry at Shallowford. I wanted to share with you a little bit about my vision for women's ministry. Before I do that, I want to share a little bit with you about how women's ministry has impacted me in my walk with Jesus. I joined a women's Bible study when I was a new believer and an expectant mom, and I was just interested in finding other moms to be friends with. While I was there, I learned to study the Bible and I learned to pray. And after a few Bible studies that I'd been in, I was asked to facilitate a group, and that made it feel doable to me, not very intimidating. So I did that for a while, and as I was digging deeper in my preparation for groups, I really desired to go even deeper and learn how to study my Bible for myself. So I joined a precept class, and in that class, I have to tell you, I probably didn't say a word the whole time I was there. The women that were there knew so much more than I did, but I just absorbed it all. I took so many notes, but it grew a real desire in me to learn more about how to study the Bible because I saw what it did in these women's lives. I was very blessed that there was a woman in my church who had been teaching inductive study for many years, and she taught me more about inductive study, how to really dig into the Word, and she also mentored me and taught me how to teach others about inductive study. Really, the reason this inductive study is and learning the Bible is so important to me is because I found that as I spent time with the Lord in the Word, that I began to see a love letter from God to me. It was real, He was personal, He addressed my hurts and my concerns and my fears, and I just wanted to share that with other people, and that's why I really started to enjoy teaching other women how to study the Bible. In addition to that, I learned how to pray, and I started by just listening to people. I didn't know how to do it. It was scary to me, but I listened, and after a while, I mimicked what they did, but eventually I learned that prayer was just conversation with God, and that He was looking at my heart, even when I was clumsy, and that was all that mattered. He just loved to hear any of us pray to Him. So at one point, I felt like God nudging me to ask a much older, wiser, more godly woman who walked with the Lord for a long time to be my prayer partner. And I fully expected her to say no, but she said yes, and we have now been praying together weekly for 20 years across the continent, across the world. We've lived in different parts of the world, and that's just been so life-giving to me. So I really see the power of prayer. Another thing that I've really enjoyed in women's ministry is just all the different things that women do together. We love to get together. So where I've been into afternoon teas and conferences and retreats and so many things. And one in particular stands out to me as a silent retreat that God nudged me to go to. And frankly, I was terrified. I could not imagine spending hours in silence with the Lord. So what I did was I packed a huge box full of books. I put music in there and a drawing pad and colored pencils, even though I don't really draw. And I took a coffee pot and chocolate and my favorite blanket just to sort of help me get through those quiet hours. But actually, that time and subsequent times with Him alone in quietness have been so refreshing. I've learned so much from Him. And again, I just had a desire to share this time of just spending alone with God. So a friend of mine gave me some material to help me start to teach other women how to do that. And so we started with a group of women leaders and did something we called Time with God over a morning, and eventually did that with the whole Bible study, 85 or 90 women. And it was just an amazing thing for a lot of women to experience. Another thing that I've been very blessed in my experience in working with women in ministry is I was informally mentored by many women over a number of years, and I just was felt so important to me that women who were a little further along in their journey, not necessarily older, but further along, were willing to invest time in me and show me what it was like to walk with the Lord. And more recently, I've just completed 2 years of a program called Flourish, where I was mentoring 3 women. And in fact, I met with one of them this morning. And it's what's so great about that is that not only does a mentee benefit, but the mentor, I can speak this for myself, that mentor learned so much by walking through time with other women. What I hope to do here at Shallowford is to create an environment where we are really growing in our love for the Lord and our love for each other, and that just spills out into our homes, into our neighborhoods, into the world. And so some of the things that I really value are really growing in our knowledge of God, because as we do that, we learn more about ourselves too, and what He's called us to study the Word, so that we can become more like Jesus, to have a foundation of prayer, to fellowship and spend time together and build a community that feels safe so that we can be real with each other and real with the Lord. And so, and then we can take that into the environments that we are in outside of our church family. And then I want to create an environment that's welcoming so that we can invite more women to join what we're doing. What does this look like? Well, Bible study will continue to be a priority, with the addition of some opportunities for working women to be able to be involved in Bible study. Prayer is going to be foundational. We want to practice it together. We want to learn more about together. It's something that's really important for everything that we do. In addition to that, teaching. There's so many different things that we can teach. We're going to need to move into that, but I can foresee that we'll be doing at some point some practical teaching, parenting or marriage, maybe some other spiritual things, maybe doing some teaching on prayer. Mentoring is something that I would really like to see us sort of get involved with, because it's a really rich experience. And then fellowship, fun, doing events together, learning together, just hanging out together, going on field trips together. That's going to be a really important part of what we do, because we're going to learn more and grow more as we do it together. I hope that you will pray about joining what we're doing here in women's ministry at Shallowford. I pray that you would ask God about where He wants you to grow, first of all, and then secondly, how you can be a part of building what we're doing here to build a growing community of women at Shallowford.